It's No Name. Welcome to a KFOG studio session with the one and only Barnes Courtney.
Heart strung, young and dumb, yeah, we had no fear. Way back when we said we'd both be millionaires. Now those days are over, and we're all gone. We used to sleep all day, talk all night, stay up by the TV light, oh. When your baby teeth ain't milky white, wipe the stardust from your eyes, oh. Said, come on, love will be just fine. We're gonna live just like it's 1999. In 1990, in 1999. In 1990, in 1999, back then we were trading cards behind the swings. Oh no, now it's money, gold and diamond rings. Now those days are over, and we're all ghosts. We used to sleep all day, talk all night, stay up by the TV light, oh. When your baby teeth ain't milky white, wipe the stardust from your eyes, oh. So to come on, love will be just fine. We're gonna live just like it's 1999. In 1990, in 1999, in 1990. Oh no, where does it go? Well, whatever fill your body up with chemicals. Oh no, kaleidoscopes. Well, whatever, living better in 1990. In 1999. In 1990. In 1999. Nintendo, Atari, Sega's my Ferrari. I got it, I love it. In 1990, Sony Electronics, economics. I got it, I love it. In 1999.
99. Barnes Courtney.
Thank you.
You are a madman. I just want you to know that in my book. I don't like to assign homework to people, but you are responsible for one of the best live performances I've ever seen.
I mean, it was very modern what I did on your front lawn last night. I'm glad that you were looking because all the drapes were closed.
Yeah, that's okay. It's good to have Barnes Courtney stalking you. It was a Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah.
You have to. It's on YouTube. You guys can check this out. He had a broken foot, and he plays the entire show like hopping. You know, and the entire time I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna break a toe. Oh my God, he's gonna hurt himself even more. Fearless, like a fearless warrior with a broken foot.
Fearless warriors, how I'd like to be remembered on my tombstone. Yes.
Yeah.
Not sort of like, skinny leather-clad French Duke type character.
Yeah.
He was a fearless warrior. He didn't actually kill anyone, and he did back down in that fight when he was supposed to be protecting his mother and girlfriend. But he was a fearless warrior in the way that he jumped around on the stage. No, I mean, it was fun, but yeah, you could definitely see in the audience, people were kind of like, oh my God, like, he's going to break his other foot.
Absolutely.
And they were kind of excited by that fact.
That's true. Yeah, there was like a weird kind of Schneizenfreuden thing going on there, if that's the right word. Is that the right word?
Schneizenfreuden, yes.
Yeah,
It's my favorite
absolutely.
guy.
Look it up. It's close. It's close. But the best part about that is at the end of the set, he crawls, like a belly crawls, like some kind of soldier just off the stage. So make sure you check that out. You'll be impressed. I do have to ask, though, you broke your foot jumping on the stage. After you had that injury, are you more kind of reluctant now? Because I've actually interviewed bands who are afraid to stage dive, and I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, I'm like, really?
Well, I mean, I didn't jump off the stage. I more sort of like soared like a majestic eagle into the audience. And I guess what I thought that it was going to be grass down there because it's a festival. And what I hadn't accounted for was the severe lack of density in my bones and the concrete.
It happens, though, right?
I kind of had an existential crisis afterwards because I kind of had got it into my head that I might be immortal. And then when my foot broke into several pieces and I realized I wasn't, it kind of spun me out a little bit. But we did the performance and, I had like everybody freaking out, like, what's, because I'm not Dave Grohl, as you might have noticed. So nobody gives a shit. Like if I'm sat in a throne, they're like, well, I don't care. Just you need to move around.
Get like a beach chair or something, something a little more low key.
Exactly. So I thought I got this idea to get this like hospital bed and I met this nurse on Bumble. She wasn't a nurse, but I asked her if she'd dress up as a nurse for the performance. And everybody was kind of freaking out. They really didn't see the idea, and I'm trying to coordinate everything. And in the meantime, I'm having an interview with Jonesy from the Sex Pistols, who's a very intimidating character in and of himself. He doesn't really ask you questions. He just kind of goes like...
Mumbles.
Yeah, I used to steal bikes when I was your age.
Steal bikes? What? No one even rides bikes anymore.
I know.
Yeah,
Get the times, Jonesy.
You are also an awesome storyteller, and I don't know if you want to do this, if you feel comfortable with this, but I'd like you to tell me the story of your jewelry that you wear. Because it's very distinct, and it's something that's caught my eye. You have like the kind of like the little skull, and you have some crystals going on. I mean, did they have magical powers? What's the story behind those?
I mean, this is a quail that I actually strangled with my bare hands when I was trying to survive out in the wilderness.
Awesome.
Sorry, he kind of precursed that with me being an amazing storyteller. I didn't want to be like, I got this from Target, so...
Crystal's hot topic, man. 2 for 1. What's up? They were on sale.
I don't know. I love animals. This is a plaster cast. It's not a real quail. I love quail in general. I think quail might be my spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did the crystals have any special meaning, or did I just when someone wears crystals like you do, I picture like someone gave them to you in some kind of like intense life-changing moment, like some type of like Yoda kind of Jedi moment where they're like, take this crystal now and go rock the world. Anything like that?
It's a hot topic.
Yeah, hot topic?
No. I mean, they were gifts from friends of mine, from people that I know. So, there's sentimental value in them. And, when I hold them up against various appendages of mine in pictures, it makes them look bigger. So
it's an eagle skull. That's awesome. What an exciting time for you, man. You just put out 2 new songs, one of which you just heard, which is fantastic. 99. Do you remember 1999?
No, I wasn't actually born then.
Yeah.
No, 99 was a good year for me. It was a year that I really got deep into Nintendo.
It's in the lyrics.
Yeah.
Atari is my Ferrari. I mean, come on.
I think, that tune is kind of about the disillusionment of adult life as you age and the inane, like, seemingly draconian formalization of fun as we get older. For instance, we don't just go on bike rides anymore as adults. We kind of have to go out and we have to measure how many miles and you have to wear all that Lycra and then you're out there doing, it's like, that's so dull. Why is that a thing?
I think everything gets complicated. I think that's why the older we get, like people want things to go with their stuff. It can't be simple. They have to feel like they've accomplished something. So what I found is like the more gear you have, like the more you feel like you're kind of legitimate, like you have pedals and stuff and, when all you really need is the guitar, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't actually exercise, so I'm not sure why I brought that up as a point. But yeah, so it's just, I think in many ways with music, I kind of escaped all those tropes of adulthood. But at the same time, it's a bizarre ritual, isn't it, getting older? And I think that we all, at some points in our lives, kind of think, well, things were much simpler back then, and I was happy, and now...
I just remember, the only thing I really remember about 1999 was, and you can look this up, you might not know this, but there was a thing called Y2K. Do Do you know about this?
Yeah.
It's where the world was supposed to like stop functioning, and I remember like I was so excited, like I was like, "Oh, rad! We're gonna like go back to the dark ages. Like this is gonna be so crazy." And then everything just kept working. It was like, "Oh, all that hype for nothing." But and there were like Y2K parties. It was a big New Year's. It was a big.
There was a big documentary about it, I remember, on the BBC.
Yeah.
And it was like, a large shipment of potatoes was nearly destroyed because the computer thought it was 1901.
Absolutely.
It wasn't even destroyed, though. It was just nearly destroyed.
Yeah. Can you tell us anything else about a new record that's coming out? I mean, I know you put the 2 songs out. Is that I'm assuming that's a sample of more music to come. Can you give us any kind of insight on that?
Yeah, the new record's going to be very different to the first one. I think the first record, I'd been struggling for 3 years to try and get back in the music industry. And, I was like slinging laptops and selling cigarettes in nightclubs and stuff. And,
Wait. You were one of those like dudes that sells the candy and the cigarettes in a
I was
nightclub?
literally that guy, yeah. And it was
Wow.
really awkward because you're not allowed in England to say what you're doing because of strict tobacco laws. So I kind of like walk up to these people in hip clubs in central London or in Camden and kind of have to sort of and just like look expectantly at my crotch and be like. So, yeah, it wasn't my favorite job.
Yeah.
And, so I think the bluesy nature of the record is reflective of that. It wasn't intentional. It was just how I felt at the time. So the new record, now that I get to do this ridiculous job and make music for a living and dance around.
Congratulations, man.
Oh, thank you.
It's awesome. It's always great to see people living the dream.
So, I'm much happier now. And I think the new album reflects that.
A little more upbeat. Now, do you get kind of worried about that as a musician and kind of like you're known for these kind of big, dramatic, kind of deep, bluesy songs, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to actually show another side of myself. Are people going to dig it? Like all the fans are there kind of ready to be bummed out and kind of, introspective and all deep and moved, and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this guy's happy now. Like what happened to the Barnes Courtney that I knew?
I know, suddenly I'm like mincing around and like singing about Nintendo 64s.
Yeah.
It's a huge work. I put a big status about it on my Instagram, just kind of explaining. But I think if you're not making music that you feel compelled to make, and if it's not music that comes from a place that's genuine, then you're not a genuine artist. So, fuck those guys.
There you go. You heard it here. Fuck those guys. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm super grateful to my fans who got me to where I'm at. But
Yeah.
So not those guys.
We totally need to just explain what we just said, but we understand. You want to be authentic. You want to be the real deal, and I think that's going to serve you in the long run much better. So let's hear some more music. It's Barnes Courtney, KFOG Studio Session.
All right. I'm losing my voice, so if I get through this one, this will be great. Lonely shadows following me. Lonely ghosts come a-crawling. Lonely voices talking to me. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. And my mother told me, son, let it be. Sold my soul to the calling. Sold my soul to sweet melody. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Oh, 1,000 faces staring at me. 1,000 times I've fallen. 1,000 voices dead at my feet. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. And that rolling thunder clapping at me. Rolling tide, come on, hauling. Rolling dice all dance at my feet. Now I'm gone, now I'm gone, now I'm gone. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Oh, send devils come a-calling.
calling my name out, lost in the fire. Sweet Virginia blood is calling my name out, lost in the fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Lord, give me that fire. Burn, burn, burn. Thank you so much.
Barnes, Courtney, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.